Good evening, everyone. This is the presentation for the topic impact of COVID-19 on digital payment transactions. Uh, as the coronavirus has started and it has spread globally, all throughout the globe, various countries are taking different measures to curb the impact of coronavirus. Most of these measures include locking down of places, people restricting movements of people, businesses are closing up, and public places are also closed up. The greater impact of these decisions has come on the digital payment sector because in order for people to continue, they need to make payments, and since physical payments are not an option these days, people are switching to digital payments. In India, there was the lockdown. The 3-week lockdown, the first 2 weeks witnessed the rise in digital payments of about 50%. There was a 50% jump, and the digital payment grew up till 72.5%. In the third week, the payments, however, declined, and the 3-week average came down to about 42%, which is still an increase in the digital payments. Uh, Over here, I have shown the sector-wise volume and value change after lockdown. These are percentage gains and losses in the value as well as the volume of digital transactions according to various sectors. For example, the NPOs have gained in terms of volume by 180%. The logistics sector has lost by 96% of their volume. Similarly, groceries have seen a gain of about 25% in the value post lockdown, and similarly, travel and hospitality sector or like the e-commerce sector has seen about 80% of loss in its value post lockdown. In order to increase the rate of digital transactions, the RBI has come up with various measures. A few of them are as follows. The RBI has decided to remove the charges on NEFT and RTGS, and it has also decided to make NEFT available for 24/7. Then the MDR charge, that was the charge on digital transactions. The RBI has decided to remove the MDR charges. This is also in the view of increasing digital transactions. Then RBI has set up a self-regulatory organization with a view to improve the security and protection of the digital payment system in India. And RBI has expanded the scope of Bharat Bill Payment System, which allows recurring bill payments. So all the recurring bill payments are included in this except for the recharges. Now Ajit will be taking over.
Payments volumes as well as in terms of value, the payments have decreased for the last 30 days, which is April. So except Aadhaar-enabled payment services, rest all payments have decreased in terms of value and volume. So when we look at Aadhaar-enabled payments, it has grown by 127%, and this is mainly due to the donations in terms of relief funds to the government. And when we look at UPI, the volumes have decreased by 20.8% and value by 26.7%. Even IMPS service has faced the same fate, which is 43% decrease in volume and 40% decrease in value. FASTag, FASTag, right? It's a toll charges which happens on it. which is charged on highways. So, and due to this restrictions in mobility, the volumes have collections have decreased by 80%. And Bharat Bill Payments System. And Bharat Bill Payment System is nothing but the recurring payments which we do, like for electricity bill, gas bill, all these things. So even for BBPS, it has decreased by 25% and 30% respectively for volumes and value. And when we look at the different initiatives that fintech companies have come up uh, with the situation created by uh, one second. Okay, with the situation created by this COVID pandemic, banks have realized that there is a necessity to go online. And when we look at Bank of Baroda, they have come up with a initiative called Stay Safe Bank Safe, through which they are not charging anything to their customers when they are doing transactions through online. And NCPI, National Payments Corporation India, they have come up with a campaign called India Pay Safe. Through this campaign, they are encouraging banks, fintech companies, and customers as well to go online and make payments. And Amazon has come up with a initiative called Amazon Pay Later. Through this Pay Later, they are providing credit services to the small businesses, and they are not charging anything if they are paying back in 1 month and within one go. And they have different EMI plans as well, 3 months, 6 months, and 9 months, for which they are charging very less of little amount. And Happy is a fintech company. They are mainly catering to MSME companies, and they are in the business. India Lens is again a fintech company, and they are again providing loans to the businesses. They are currently helping those banks that do not have digital facilities in bringing in converting the customers, those who are in need of loans. And Navi Technologies is a fintech company again owned by Sachin Bansal, and they are also providing loans to the businesses from 10,000 to 2 lakhs range, and only for those people who are salaried, and the minimum requirement is around 10,000 rupees. 10,000 rupees as a base salary. And till now we have discussed about how different sectors have affected with this pandemic, and how government and RBI are encouraging people, customers to uh, go online, and different initiatives taken by fintech companies. But as we see, people are being very cautious and staying in homes, and they are consuming very like small amount than usual times, and this might create a problem for the businesses, those who are like accepting digital payments. And these businesses may suffer in the short term. And through these weak domestic consumptions, there might create a delay in investment, and this delay in investment might further affect the growth of the economy. And when we see about the MDR, which is a uh, through which like banks cannot charge anything through their customers. Through this MDR, the companies which are providing the services, say POS services, they might face some issue because without proper incentive, they might not uh, get encouragement to work, and investments will stop there, and these things might happen. So, so finally, what we can say is transition to a cashless economy is possible, provided we have a lot of technologies. But the challenge is that uh, when we look at the people who are in rural areas, how these people like how these people can be brought up into the equation and uh, go completely cashless. So this is all what we have. Thank you.
I have a little suggestion that you have mentioned the
Yes.
NEFT 24 into 7. Actually, it was not about the impact of COVID. It was in 1st of December 2019 when RBI mandated 24 into 7 NEFT facility.
Yeah.
So if you can just check it
It
and
was
men-
implemented in 2020 only, actually.
it was to be
The idea was
from
proposed in December, but it was implemented recently.
Yeah,
okay.
in Jan 2020.
Okay. And another thing is the FASTag. Actually, you can write NETC, National Electronic Toll Collection, instead of
Okay.
fast or link uh,
Mhm.
NETC FASTag, because NPCI has
Okay.
launched NETC, and FASTag is the RFID strip uh, logo on the sticker on the car.
Okay.
Okay.
It
Can you
was
come to
good
the first
presentation.
slide? Can you come to the first slide?
Yeah. Yes.
Can you just explain like what is a little down, little lower? Can you just explain the gains and like what are the companies in, gaining from the online gaming and groceries? Like little breakdown, little breakup of what companies are involved in all this, especially on
You're
Android.
talking about the online gaming one.
Yes, yes, yes.
The online gaming sector has seen an increase in when we are saying in terms of value, that is in crore rupees, the industry has seen about 50% increase in the transactions that are being done. As people are in lockdown these days, they are resorting to online games.
Like what are the companies involved in online gaming? Apart from like the most like most popular right now in my view is like Paytm because of the small games. Like, what are the companies are also involved in
Can you
this?
repeat?
What are the companies involved in this like online gaming? Who are gaming from online gaming?
You mean the gaming companies?
Yes. Yes.
It is the industry wide actually.
Okay, like all the like be it EA Sports, be it
Yes.
Paytm, be it anything. Okay.
Yes.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes.
Actually, I want to ask you that still majority of the money that economy is in unorganized sector. So how do you think that this will affect that sector? Like majority of even if I take an example of a retail sector, majority of stores are unorganized and people still believe in physical money over there for transactions. So
Yeah.
don't
For that only,
yes.
yeah. Since a lot of the India is, for example, in digital payments, we what we really need is to get to the unorganized sector where people do not have all the facilities to undertake digital transactions. That is why, in the conclusion, we have included the part there that increase in digital transactions will be a good thing. However, what we need is various we can reach to unorganized sector or people in semi-urban areas so that everybody is able to make use of digital payments.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
Anisha and Deep, I have a question.
Pardon?
Since the lockdown has been removed from like many districts in the country. So how do you think, like, what is your opinion how these tech or fintech companies can leverage on that? Like, how can they gain from that? Since since lockdown has been removed from many cities, and but still the COVID issue is still there. Like, we can people cannot trust the physical currency. So how do you think they can leverage on that?
The fintechs have increasingly started partnering up with banks. For example, in the Bank of Baroda one that we have mentioned, that they are partnering with the fintech so that they can increase access of digital loans, where there is they will be providing touchless or contactless loans by just using the soft copies of their documents for sanctioning of loans. And other fintech firms have also individually started giving out loans. For example, the one we mentioned here, where they are giving loans for salaried employees for up to rupees 2 lakhs. So it has some prerequisites, the conditions that have to be met. Uh, so they will be providing loans.
Okay, thank you.
If anyone has any queries, then please tell, else we'll conclude.
There was one question from Shivan. There was this news that contactless card payments limit has been increased to more than 2,000. Okay, yeah, just swiping over the POS machine, you're saying that.
This wasn't a question actually. This was just a suggestion that maybe you can include this point in the presentation.
Okay, we'll go through this information and we'll put it in the.
Okay, sure.
I think you can mention that even in the COVID time, the new initiative has been taken. So how it will change the whole industry means they will continue with these changes, just like contactless cards, and these banks have come up on more on digital. So you can
Yes,
write.
actually, what I would believe is once we move to online, it becomes difficult again to move to offline. Actually, when we see the demonetization scenario, most of the Paytm and PhonePe customer base has increased from there itself, right? So people have got adopted to the online platforms, and people are not using cash after that, right? So this might be a permanent change in terms like for the loans as well.
The current season was the harvesting season of the crops. So farmers are in many areas are not able to sell their crops or cannot go to mandi. So
Yes.
there was news that ENAM, they are putting more efforts on ENAM government, that it should be
Okay.
digitalized. They should get payment and their crops must be sale. So do you think that these things during what we learned in COVID will be continued in future and more infrastructure can be put up?
Uh,
Uh, Guys, one more suggestion from my side. Since these digital payments have increased and we can see more traffic on these payment platforms, maybe you can include some cyber security measures that have been taken to protect these platforms. Or if you can find any news piece on that.
So one of the initiatives by RBI is the self-regulatory organization. It is the aim of the self-regulatory organization only to protect the frauds that will increasingly be happening on these websites as the traffic is increasing. So that part is covered with the RBI.
Okay, thanks.
So I think we can conclude now.
Thank you, Anisha and Ajit, for a great presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you.